Hey folks, this is Riker with a gaming news wrap-up video where we discuss the happenings of the week. This week's topics include Activision Blizzard going all in on their new business model, CD Projekt Red being the victim of a virtual hostage situation, the release of the Diablo 2 total conversion in StarCraft 2, and more. As always, discussion timestamps can be found in the video description below. But right before you skip ahead, just a quick reminder to ring that sub notification bell to be alerted to new Saturday episodes and stay up to date with gaming news highlights. Now, before we move on, just a quick word from this video's sponsor, NordVPN. Not only is the VPN an important tool for keeping your data secure on the internet, but it's also the best way to get around region blocked content. You can use NordVPN to watch shows that are not available in your country, or to play video games that haven't released yet in your country. And NordVPN has thousands of servers in over 60 countries. And it's so user-friendly that you're basically one click away from hiding your IP or browsing the web from a different country, be it through the app or through NordVPN's Chrome browser extension. Plus, you can try NordVPN risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And right now, you can get a 2-year plan at a huge discount, plus 1 free month at nordvpn.com/Riker and use code Riker. That's nordvpn.com/RHYKKER to see what region block content you're missing out on. Let's kick things off with some Activision Blizzard news. The company had its latest quarterly update earnings call last week, and there's a couple things we didn't touch upon in last week's video that I wanted to go over this week. The first is just how successful Call of Duty has been for the company, and how they're planning to apply the framework used for that franchise to its other franchises, meaning premium content, free-to-play access to all consumers, expansion to mobile, and continuous regular delivery of in-game content. You see, in 2019, investors were concerned that the Call of Duty franchise was getting old, or more specifically, less profitable. But Activision responded by investing heavily into reimagining the franchise's monetization model and expanding it to new platforms, i.e. mobile. And the results speak for themselves. Activision's side of the business in this last quarter made 3 times more money than Blizzard and King. Everyone forgets that Activision Blizzard includes King, the developer of Candy Crush. And this is despite the successful release of WoW Shadowlands, which broke sales records. Now, this has heated up rumors of Overwatch going free-to-play. Between July and September, the game had 10 million monthly active users, which is a healthy number, but with word that Overwatch 2 won't release in 2021, Blizzard may be pressured into doing something to make more money from Overwatch in the meantime. I don't get why they don't just set up an OnlyFans. Well, the work's already done on Rule 34. That's a lot of tentacles. In related World of Warcraft news, we also got word during this financials meeting that Blizzard is working on multiple Warcraft mobile games. Quote, "In our Warcraft franchise, we intend to deliver more frequent premium content to sustain and expand the World of Warcraft community. And we've made multiple mobile free-to-play Warcraft experiences, and they're now in advanced development based on our franchise's beloved IP. I do wonder if this means that this BlizzCon will see the reveal of Warcraft Go, a new mobile game in which you duel other players with battle pets while walking around the world in augmented reality, going to parks to catch pets, once we're allowed to go outside again in the year 2024. And on the topic of not going outside, E3 will be held this year as a purely virtual event. Last year, the E3 Gaming Expo was cancelled entirely, with a virtual E3 promised for 2021. Well, it looks like this will end up happening on June 15th through the 17th, featuring multiple 2-hour keynote sessions from games partners, as well as other panels. Partner companies will be allowed to remotely stream playable game demos to the media, and such partner companies can allegedly sign up for the low price of a 6-figure sum. Well, it makes sense. They need the money to pay to rent out the space on the show floor for demo stations. Right. Well, they need the money to set up private booths for interviews. They need the money to, they need the money to, game devs know they can just upload a video to YouTube for free, right? onto some Cyberpunk 2077 news. The bad news continues to roll in for developer CD Projekt Red, who has now been hacked by totally elite hacksaws. Yes, CDPR was, quote, epically owned, or pwned, depending on whether you want to say it ironically. This was a ransomware attack, data was stolen, and the hackers were extorting money from CDPR under threat of releasing data to the public, including the source codes for Cyberpunk, The Witcher 3, Gwent, and the unreleased version of Witcher 3, as well as documents relating to accounting, admin, legal, HR, investor relations, and more. CDPR made a public statement about the incident and declared that they would not give in to these demands. So the hackers released the source code to Gwent, CDPR's card game, and then put the source code to Cyberpunk and The Witcher 3 up for auction, allegedly with a $1 million starting bid and a buyout option of $7 million. According to cyber intelligence firm Grygla, the auction closed because the hackers received an offer outside of the auction that satisfied them. Quote, with the conditions of further non-distribution, they were forced to withdraw the lot from sale. We don't know exactly what the satisfying offer was, but the lesson to learn here, children, is that crime does pay off. Wait, what? That's the lesson? That can't be right. In other news, last Epoch developer 11th Hour Games had an interview with Segment Next, in which we learned some more details about the upcoming ARPG and how it's coming along. Multiplayer is the next big addition to come to the game, and the team had this to say, quote, multiplayer will be one of the most, if not the most, exciting releases for last Epoch, and as a team, we feel good about the social systems we'll offer the community. Players in town hubs will be able to chat, show off their gear, take advantage of a unique trading system, or party up with 3 other travelers to conquer the dangers that await in Feiteira. To ensure the best playing experience, multiplayer will consist of server-side characters playing in a server authoritative environment. When asked about a release date, the team offered no specifics other than an affirmation that they are committing to getting it right and taking as much time as they need to do so. I mean, after all, you wouldn't want to release a game that's full of bugs and server crashes, right? When asked about trade, the team said, quote, we believe that loot, crafting, and trading should all have a place in modern ARPGs. Players will be able to buy, sell, and trade gear through our bazaar. Microtransactions will never grant others an advantage over you. We even use a currency called cosmetic coins to drive that point home. For example, while you may be able to buy items with gold from other players, there will be instances where powerful equipment may not be tradable. It's funny how Diablo 3 has forever ruined the term auction house for any ARPG. Ever again. Hey, is your game gonna have an auction house? No. We're gonna have an interface through which players can list gear for sale, and other players can bid on that gear or buy it outright. So like an auction house. No. It's totally different. We call it the bidding den. The devs also explained that their current plan is to release the game with the 5 current classes, and hinted that they will release new classes for free in post-launch updates. Outside of the interview, the devs also released a new patch to the game that updates the endgame content, itemization, polish, and more. Full patch notes can be found below. In some quick Borderlands news, the Borderlands movie that's in the works just signed on 2 additional stars. The movie, being directed by Eli Roth and starring Cate Blanchett as Lilith and Kevin Hart as Roland, will now also star Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis and Jack Black as Claptrap. How are they affording this? At this rate, there's no way they'll also be able to afford a panel at E3. See, that's called a callback. You won't get the joke if you skipped earlier parts of the video. Seriously though, this many big actors coming together for a video game movie? This is either going to be one of the best video game movies ever, or a failure of colossal proportion. Here's to hoping it's the former. And lastly, on to Diablo news. The Curse of Tristram, the Diablo 2 mod in StarCraft 2, has officially released. Yes, the lead dev Egon decided that with the likely announcement of Diablo 2 Resurrected only a week away, he'd best finish off the project he's been working on for a decade before an official remaster releases. An enormous amount of effort went into this project over the years, and while it isn't the entirety of Diablo 2 remade in StarCraft 2, it includes all of Act 1, available on normal, Nightmare, and Hell difficulties, playable with up to 4 players. It also includes new features, new items, weekly events, and more, and the team has decided to use this experience and become indie devs going forward to work on their own games. You can play the Curse of Tristram for free by downloading the free version of StarCraft 2 and finding the mod in the arcade. It's a bittersweet end for me. I remember this project from back when I still played StarCraft 2, and I wish these guys all the best in their future projects. Bonne chance, Edouard. In other news, we've had the Blizzconline schedule revealed this week. I believe it's going to be a really good year for Diablo, and if you haven't watched my video dissecting the schedule, I encourage you to do so to understand why I'm so hyped. And that's going to wrap up this week's video. But do be sure to have checked out last week's video in which we discussed Blizzard's leaked Project Fenway. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube supporters for making these videos possible. If you like what you see on this channel and want to support the creation of more content, you can consider pledging on YouTube or Patreon and unlocking behind-the-scenes content, monthly virtual hangouts, and more. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. Check out these other videos, and subscribe to join Rikers Raiders for more gaming content.